probably there are 80 people. So what does it take to manage 80 people? especially,
Just expecting.
especially young people, because we are just, honestly, I'm saying, we think we know everything, but as soon as reality hits, we think, oh no, 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 we are still a piece of shit. So, hi everyone, good people over the internet. Today we have with us none other than the founder for Folks herself. I wouldn't
I'm actually the
waste.
co-founder. Sorry to interrupt.
Seriously,
So
co-founder.
I'm
See,
actually the.
you wouldn't find such great hosts on podcasts. So half information, half knowledge. It's deadly. Okay. Um, so I wouldn't take any more time. I would like her to say something about Furr-Folks, but before that, I would like to personally know something regarding how did your heart becomes so big that you have place for so many animals, not only in Calcutta but outside of that.
Okay. So first of all, I think that this is a very human character, and I feel this is where actually we are missing out. And most people think that it's not our duty, it's their duty, or people who are actually having a lot of time, or having, like you said, like people having a big heart only can they can actually contribute towards a welfare of community animals. But it's just very wrong. Like when I actually started, so I'm actually born and brought up in a family where we were actually empathetic towards all the animals. Yeah, obviously we didn't have a lot of knowledge, and that is where I think that every citizen, or every human being maybe is lacking behind, and they don't have a lot of knowledge about dealing with animals. That's it. But that is the basic quality, that empathy, it should be there in every in every human being towards animals. uh, when I started, uh, like like everybody, I was just treating an animal out of care, and then that actually increased and increased and increased. I started getting more cases and more cases. And once you start treating animals, people start thinking that you're a vet, or you're a paravet, or you already are in an organization. So when I started
Or
individually,
maybe a
people
pet
already
lawyer.
started. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So they give you extra responsibilities for other animals also. So that's how you start getting more and more cases, as I refer. So yeah, that's how it all started, and now it's growing, thankfully.
Terribly fast. Uh, so I was studying for folks before I would come to a podcast because I had to do that because I can't just come and speak about stuff. So basically, for the audience and for you as well, this is the platform called as Musicstaan. The first five letters spell music, but I thought apart from doing podcasts with artists, bands, and entrepreneurs in general, creative people, I thought, why not let's do a playlist? And I named that playlist Art in its Different Forms. And this is actually the first episode we're recording. So take us through getting the idea of building this non-profit organization. And before that, as a founder of a non-profit organization, sorry, co-founder of a non-profit organization yourself, is there an exact meaning for this term non-profit organization or the word charity? Would you like to define it for all the people, especially dumb people like me?
Okay, so basically, a non-profitable organization states that I personally cannot draw profits from that organization. All right. So whatever I am doing here, it's for the strays. And for example, if you'll see that for admissions and everything, maybe you will have to pay, obviously, because every non-profit organization like us, like since we are growing, and it's just been 3 years that we have got registered, we still do not get any government funding. All right. So that's how, like our every work is dependent on fundraising or crowdfunding. So if we do not get that money, like how will we actually be able to treat more an animals? So that's the point where actually we need money for. And a non-profit organization means that, like I said, like I cannot ever draw money for my own profit from that organization. So whatever profits that we are earning, obviously there will be some profits, and there are some profits which we are generating just for the stray animal, so that we can utilize that profit for the next treatments, next rehabilitation, next adoption, and hence.
So
Yeah.
basically, with the organization, the people who are working in that organization, their hearts are also growing 10 kilometers each minute. Great. Just feels really nice. Take us through. So you are the co-founder. So there are probably two co-founders, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Of this
Yeah.
organization. Yeah, I'm right in certain things. Great. Uh, so how did you people came up with the idea of building an organization for in this heavily pathetic environment for animals to give us shelter and care and save those innocent creatures from devils like us?
Okay, so like I said, like I am born and brought up in a family where we have always been empathetic towards animals. So I know, I we have sheltered many animals since the beginning. But obviously I didn't know how to treat them, or as you know, like the vet facilities, or proper medical facilities in Kolkata, or maybe I guess in India also, it's like very poor for the animals.
And
So
costly.
obviously we didn't. Yeah, obviously, very costly.
So they sell
Most people,
one
yeah,
kidney for
exactly.
treatment.
Exactly. It's a very good point, for which, I also belong from a very like lower middle class family, where my father used to just have a private job, and he had the responsibility of the whole family. Whole family means his brothers also. All right. So obviously we didn't have that extra money to, spend for the treatment of animals. So I started when like I started attending cases when I was doing my masters from presidency. I used to go like in my break schedules, like if you know, I don't know, like presidency schedules are very busy. Like they don't give any free periods or anything. So in the break hours, I used to go out for attending cases. Like literally, I had to run in between
Wow.
classes to just go and check an animal and then come back for the next class. So that's how I started attending cases, and by the end of 2019, yes, 2019 December, I still remember. I decided to have, like, I alone cannot actually do this. Like I cannot run from South Kolkata to North Kolkata once, and then to Central Kolkata, or maybe some other places.
It's like a
So
pathetic
it's just,
journey. Like you have to attend classes as well as treat animals. It's
yes,
like
obviously. And obviously, for the transport costs, also, people who are informing you, they will not pay. So that is the main issue. Like
typical
there is
Calcutan people.
no support at all. No support at all. Exactly. Um, okay, so then after that, on like I was actually not in a very good mental state at that time. So then I decided, I'll have to do something, to bring together few people whom I knew, that they were also animal lovers, and so that like-minded people basically, who can form a group, and monthly we can contribute our pocket money, something from our pocket money, and then we can save up something at least by the end of each month, so that we can buy more medicines. So this is how we started, and it started with a member of like 5 to 7, I guess, if I'm not wrong, 5 to 7 members. So we started contributing, and then we started thinking of how to, make it bigger, and how to get it registered. These were the initial thoughts. Like we didn't actually think like it will go so smoothly that we will once get registered, we'll get two registrations, one as NPO and then as a registered trust. So I think also destiny had a big role to play in this, in this whole situation. Like nothing worked out, and this worked out very well for me. So weirdly, because like my mother wanted me to be a good classical singer. My father wanted me to be an actress, because he loved to be like, he has a fascination for the Tollywood industry. I don't know why. So this was a whole concept. When I grew up, I was actually academically doing well, but still nothing was actually clicking, but this clicked actually. uh, so yeah, here we are.
God, that's wonderful. So, you know, typical in India specifically, we middle class
Yeah.
people have high ambitions,
Yeah.
but not enough deep pockets to fulfill those ambitions.
Yes.
And this kind of a tragedy and a funny thing at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for how many months do you remember you worked like this? Like you attended classes and attended pets as well for the people who called you and for the treatment and all. Like how many days went on like in this pathetic journey? Because um,
Many
our
basically.
bodies also have a certain limit of work because after a certain point of time we just break down because this is after all a machine that needs a rest. So,
It's actually going on still now. So today I was almost devastated. Like yesterday night, I remember like we were having a few cases. We were dealing with a few cases, and still, like I said, like this is a non-profitable organization, and I cannot actually draw any profit from here. So, and I do not want to basically make it like that. Like charge very high amount of money. So, our all of our like spot treatments goes for free. Mostly when people say that they do not have much money to get an animal admitted, then we also sponsor for admissions.
wow,
We have done a lot of fostering, like free fostering, free rescues, free adoption, like many. And obviously last year we did free vaccination for almost 500 to 600 dogs.
holy
So
shit.
yeah, like I said, since I have gone through that situation where I know like why people cannot afford. Like even if I have 500, people will think like, okay, I need this 500 for this things. I cannot spend
Towel
it for
kharidna
cat.
hai.
Um, exactly. So that's why I have always dealt it as what I would have done if I was in their situation. So maybe I would have been heartbroken, and I would have, maybe I would have left the cat in that situation because I do not have enough money. So, and also there are very fake people also, but yeah, we need to deal with people differently. There are many rich people who actually pretend that, oh no, I do not have money for
Uh-huh.
this. So it feels very pathetic, but we feel pathetic for that cat or that animal because he is obviously not sponsoring for himself, or it is basically not sponsoring for itself. It's just its destiny that it's on a hand who is actually who can sponsor its treatment, but it's not going to do that. So yeah, there is a lot of things that we need to think and then deal with the situation and with a proper case. So, by the way, I forgot your question. Where were I?
Wait, I also forgot. Wait, huh? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was the question. Okay, you probably answered this one. Like, how was the hectic schedule? So it's going on still now. So
Uh,
viewers who are watching this, talent is here and there. So don't worry. Um, probably on Facebook, I've seen Furrfolks have a fucking huge following, honestly, and a very like-minded people follow that page. And because I think uh, it's my point of view, it can differ. But what I want to say is sometimes um, in a planet called Earth, which is not a surprise that we live in. Um, I think we humans have actually done a lot of pretty shitty things to a lot of natural things, including animals. And then we are sitting over here um, trying to save what we have already 99% lost by our
yeah.
own guilt. Uh, Also, when I don't remember, I was 15. Um, I was passing through a metro station, and in a place there was a two gates, two just rusted gates closed in. I stopped for a moment. I saw the gate. I waited for a while. मतलब कोई खुलेगा ये गेट या फिर नहीं. something of that sort. And someone opened the gate, and a mother came out. Those uh, people who actually take care of abandoned children and small kids who are in the ashrams and all. And just when she opened the gate, so she opened it and closed it. But in that moment, I got to saw something inside that really kind of spoke a lot. I saw probably, I don't know, maybe 1,000 children, small kids, 7, 8 year, 10-year old. Maybe they don't have parents, they don't have food, proper shelter, but they're staying there somehow, learning ABCD, thinking of that letters would someday give them enough money to fill their stomachs. Um, and after that, before that also, I had this thing from my childhood that we humans have done some fucking cruel stuff to the entire natural earth. And then personally, I think, then we came up with a word called charity, which I personally hate this word. I'm like, we have destroyed nearly entire of the world. Who are we to actually use this word charity? We have already destroyed stuff. If we had to use the word charity, we would have done it at the very first step before destroying stuff. But sense comes a lot later as human beings. We smoke 20 packets cigarette a year and then recognize nahi, abhi band karna hai, cancer ho jayega. But but the moment you realize it's too late, ho chuka hai tab tak kaam. Okay. So what's your point on this one? The word charity.
Yeah, definitely. Like as you said, like we have already like lost everything almost, and now it's obviously not the time for charity. It's maybe our minimal effort that we can put in to whatever to actually uh, maybe we cannot actually not even 0.00001% we can actually give back to the nature or to the society anything. So that is a very good point actually, like why I actually like focused for folks on mostly on as a youth organization, because I think youth has a lot to do, not just
Of
in being
course.
self-centered and being very focused in their career and what how to earn money. I think that is the time you have, like I said, like you have the time, you have the energy, you have the stamina to attend a case, to attend an animal in between classes. So obviously you have that, so why not do that? If my minimal effort can actually save life, then why not? So that is the thing, like people should actually think it this way, that this is the, like, not even the minimal that we are actually giving back to the society or giving back to the nature, to the community animals. Like today actually, we're like when we were doing, okay, so we are having an event called Furr-a-thon in 15th on
I
15th
did
August.
register. Don't worry, I'm coming.
Yeah, so for that we were having a trial run, and that event, it is going to take place on 15th August, the 75th Independence Day. And the route is, it will be starting from South City, in front of South City Mall, to Gold Park via Lake Road. And we have two divisions for this. One is 2 kilometer run for the pet parents with their pets, and for the ones without their pets, that is for 4 kilometers. And yeah, people who will be joining, will be participating, will have a lot of fun, will get their goodie bags and a lot of poops and licks from the pets, obviously.
Yeah, really stupid question. Are you a dog person or a cat person? I know you are every pet person, but for the general question.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a both or all kind of person, but
See,
uh, if you want me to choose, like not choose basically, but okay, just one answer maybe will give you the answer. My house is filled with almost 15 to 16 number of cats. So yeah, I
how many?
attend
How many? How
cases.
many
I
cats?
15 to 16 at least. Out of them, six are paralyzed, six are rescued, and not exactly six are rescued, more than that are rescued basically. But other than the six, all are like four-legged, or all are normal, healthy. So no issues with that. My paralyzed cats are also very very healthy. They actually fly. They don't walk. But yeah, this is the situation, and this actually says maybe I'm a cat person. But yeah, I love the dogs equally.
I just answered your question at the very starting. Jyotish Humor. Anyway, apart from that, um, how was it working on this organization from scratch till what it is grown now? I've probably checked all of your content on YouTube channel. I've checked your Instagram. I've checked Facebook, every social media handle that there is. Take us through the journey of working on it at the scratch. You just say that it's not possible after a certain limit to actually work on something that is actually taking a lot of load and effort. You have to delegate some work to other people, and in this case, the youth, because reports say that the most number of youth a country has is India, and I think it's kind of a duty for every youth to actually contribute something rather than thinking that how can I fill my stomach and let other people die. That's just a really pathetic idea to live with. Um, so yes, yeah, take us through that, like starting from scratch till it's
It's basically, I guess, in mainly in two sectors. One is increasing the number of members, and obviously, as the number of members increase, our popularity increased or our work increased. Because obviously, when we were like when we started, when we were like five members, obviously we could attend cases locally, mostly where we were located, and uh, obviously the number of cases, the number of locations we could attend was very limited. So as the number of members increased and increased and increased, and at a point, and that was, I should not say luckily, but as I said, like, working here in this sector was actually my destiny. Because when we started, after that COVID started. So COVID was a blessing for us. I'll say it was a blessing for the stray animals also. Most people, they had
exactly.
they had nothing to do. And I don't know if you have noticed, like, feeding the stray animals actually became a trend at that time.
Yes,
Like,
yes, 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 yes.
when we used to go out for feeding, now we could see at least like two to three other people, other group of people, or a couple, or a girl, or another man. They're actually on the streets, they were feeding those animals also. So after a certain period of time, we had to change routes completely. Like, since there were feeders wherever we went, there were feeders. So it was a very good thing to witness.
Yes,
And
exactly.
yeah, and during the COVID times only, like, our member strength increased like a tsunami wave. Most of the youth, basically, they had, I won't say nothing, but they had a very minimal workload. So they were mostly like they had nothing to do sitting at home.
Yes, yes, yes. That's the
So
word. Nothing to do.
sitting back home, and this, like, working for the animals, gave them a very good opportunity to go out. I would say like that. Although joking, but many of them actually joined for genuine reasons. My members will kill me for this. But yeah, for at that time, our member strength increased a lot, and people actually contributed very enthusiastically. Uh, they actually went out for attending cases. They helped us reaching out to many people. They actually increased the social media. It changed during this whole COVID season. So as the COVID season ended, I could see people, since they were actually like, it was a huge, like, it's a, what do I say, like, lifestyle change. The offline work started, offline colleges started. Suddenly people could not actually adjust to this whole thing, and I completely understand how could they actually contribute extra to Furrfolks. So their contribution slowly declined, but still we are in a very stable rate. And thankfully, like I said, like, during that COVID wave, when our member wave actually hit, then there were many genuine members like Prasna, and there are many others also, like who actually joined, and they are still contributing in a very consistent way throughout. So yeah, that's how I think we were fortunate, and that's how our member strength increased. It went to 100 right now. After
Holy
the
shit.
COVID situation, it's 80. Um, and same for the fundings also, like when we have more members, we can actually reach out to more people for fundraising. We can actually as I said, like as we started now, we were contributing 100 rupees from our pocket money every month. So we still do that. So that is a very good source of money, for a consistent money, at least I'll say, which will never let us stop our work. At least we will be able to buy the medicines, that I can assure. Like maybe we will not be able to sponsor for some high funding disease or a very critical case, but we will definitely be able to continue with our spot treatments forever. At least I can assure that.
Wow. When I see people doing this kind of work, generally we have all actually witnessed that there's a lack of money, which actually devastates things a lot badly. We can't expect, honestly, we can't expect the our government to fund us because they are in debt themselves. Um, so, in the terms of business, every day I see startups getting billions and billions of dollars of funding. My question is, where are the venture capitalists? Where are the angel investors for these kind of projects, organizations? Where are they? Because, like, if you have $30 million, if you can give away $1 million, which amounts to 7.5 crore, that's enough for the seed funding. Um, what's your point of view on this? Like, how should be the structure of funding for non-profit organizations who want to work, who want to develop things which are already devastated and in a really pathetic state?
See, basically, I think it works both ways. Like, there are many organizations I have seen who have not actually worked very honestly, and they have cheated people. They have actually, they were involved in many fraud cases. Uh, they have done a very wrong. They have actually created a very wrong image of this NGO world. Like
Okay,
many
yes.
commoners, basically they many commoners and many contributors, or the sponsors, they actually think like, okay, we need to actually first verify like whether they are actually doing something or not. And mostly the sponsorship goes for big NGOs or big organizations who have bigger links and everything. So I think and like I said, like this is a both way thing. Also the sponsors, they what they do is they contribute money to those specific works which will fetch them more promotions.
Uh,
All right. Or they'll get them into TV or media
Basically, sources for their marketing of their
for
business.
their benefit. Yeah, exactly. For their benefit. Obviously, we are all doing something or else for our benefit only. So, yeah, this works both ways. And I think in both ways, first of all, though, when we are doing something, we should be at least transparent about our work. So I guess that will fetch more trust towards our work. More people will trust us, and I think folks have whatever we have gained, or whatever, whenever I get a tick tack amount of donation, I actually feel very grateful, and I feel actually more responsible. Like, okay, I need to
Work
work
more
harder.
harder.
Yeah, work more harder and feel that responsibility that people are actually giving us funds. So we need to do that. So I don't know how many people actually think like that. Mostly they take it for granted. They keep begging for more money. They
And
keep
fill their
asking for more
pockets.
money and fill their pockets. So yeah, definitely, I think it should be both ways, and people should be more. And I strongly believe in this. That's why whenever I don't get proper sponsors or I don't get proper funds, I think I have seen that when your work is honest, or that whatever you're doing is right, I know that money will come its way. I know that, like, not for me, but for the stability of this organization, I have always seen that. I remember at the very beginning of this journey, we took up a case. We rescued a puppy. It was in a very critical condition, and we couldn't get it admitted in any of the shelters. In any of the shelters, basically, there was no space. They denied and denied. So we, like, obviously we were compelled to get it to a nearest private clinic, and you can understand by the time private clinic, we were given a bill of 25,000, and we actually were just starting. Like, I was like, how am I going to get 25,000 for a single puppy? And the puppy died after 2 to 3 days, but still I had to pay that money, obviously, because the clinic said, like, we have done this, we have done that, we have operated, we have
You have killed
given
your
him.
puppy. Now
No,
pay us
maybe they have not
25,000.
killed it. Yeah, but maybe they, obviously they may have not, like, the condition of the puppy was very serious. But the bill, my God, like, it is not possible for everyone to pay that bill. But still, I somehow managed to gather that fund. So I guess by that time I understood that, whatever cases I mostly try to attend, I mostly try to, like, basically help most people, and I know that for funds, if I'm doing something right, I'll actually get the funds back. So no issues with that.
Transparency and honesty is the hashtag.
Yeah.
Right? Well, great. So I saw that you're 12A and 80G certified and registered. For normal startups and companies, I've seen that they're registered as a private limited or an LLC or a only limited liability company. What's the difference between in the registration department? What's the difference between registering a non-profit organization compared to maybe a startup, a for-profit startup?
Yeah, like I said, like, non-profit organization, they cannot, like, when it's getting registered, whatever money you are getting, you'll have to, get it checked by a CA. You'll have to get your accounts done. You'll have to provide like, the receipts and everything, that how you have actually utilized the whole money. So obviously you cannot draw your profits from there. Whereas a profitable trust, like a profitable organization, it means, obviously, like, you're running that to gain and fill your pockets. So there's, if for example, like the pet shops or the private clinics, those are the profitable areas.
So what are these terms like 12A, 80G? What do these mean? If I
Okay,
want to
12
ask as a beginner.
ATG. Yeah, yeah. 12 ATG basically provides us the tax exemption rights. Like, we will not have to give tax to the government, and also who is our donors. Like, for example, if they are donating in a ठीक amount, then like a mediocre amount, obviously not less than 500. So they'll get a tax exemption certificate for that, and they will not have to pay tax on that amount of money. So we can basically give out that receipt.
So 12A and 80G both mean exemption of from taxes.
Yeah,
Okay.
one is that we don't have to pay the tax to the government, and the other is that whoever is donating to us, if we give that certificate, if we give them that receipt, then they will not have to pay the tax to the government for that amount of money.
Wow. Interesting. Probably there are 80 people. So what does it take uh, to manage 80 people? especially,
I was just expecting.
especially young people, because we are just honestly, I'm saying we think we know everything, but as soon as reality hits, we think, oh no, 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 we are still a piece of shit. More things are to be done.
I was I was expecting not to get this question, because
Take us through that, Jen. I
obviously,
really want to understand.
yeah, we had a lot of, like, most people think that, when 80 people unitedly working together, obviously it's a complete wrong image. Not 80 people unitedly working for the same situation. People have their own intentions, people have their own idea or perspectives, like why they are in this organization. It's completely their own. What I want is, they will actually, first of all, there is a single rule, that is when you are starting to work with us,
The
like
terms
what
and
we thought.
conditions sheet, Excel sheet.
Yeah, not exactly terms and conditions, because they are all volunteers. We cannot actually
Mm.
give them the terms and conditions. They have their own will to work, and they have their own wish to work, basically. So we what we do is, like, my whole concept of involving the youth into this is, obviously, many people might think that, we are all giving out to the inexperienced people to treat animals, but this is a wrong concept. uh, Okay, so this will take some time. See, when we are attending cases, there are two kinds of cases. One is internal injury, and another is topical injury. All right. So for animals, like as I have experienced, or we all have experienced, topical injuries are very easy to treat. All right. So if you are, maybe you have witnessed an animal with a huge maggot wound or a huge wound, and you have thought, this animal will not survive even a day, but just one medicine or just applying one medicine can actually cure it. So it's that easy because they have very high immunity. So that's how I actually intend to work with my members, because most of them are actually guided to just treat the topical injuries, not the internal injuries. So for the internal injuries, there are vets and there are paravets. So we have in-house vets and paravets who help us dealing with those, while the volunteers work is only to do your minimal bit, like in your locality, take care of the dogs, take care of the animals, do your minimal, like, deworm them, or get them vaccinated, and treat them whenever you are seeing. You'll see ticks and everything. Like, ticks are minimal. Most people we think like, okay, they will actually, they are used to living with the ticks, but those ticks can cause serious tick fever and actually kill the animal. So I have seen that if we do our very minimal bit, like maybe spend 15 minutes or half an hour after an animal, we can actually save lives, like which is a very highlighted cause. You can spend 15 minutes and save a life, like that's a huge thing to do. So that's the only thing. That's how I motivate, or I try to basically motivate all my members, that this is how you can actually, just giving out some minutes, or sharing some posts. Many volunteers have also thought, like, how sharing for like our post will actually help them. Like, it's not helping the animals, but yes, it is helping the animals, because when you are sharing it, more people are getting to know about it. More people are getting to know that, you can just be a member, and you can, that's how easy to save an animal or a life. So yeah, this is how I think growth of Furrfolks is has always been directly proportional to the help to helping more animals in need. So yeah, coming back to the question of managing 80 people altogether, we had our own issues. We always have our own issues, but I I try to sort it out in a very diplomatic way, that we are here not for the political causes or not to backbitch about each other. Our only intention is to work for the animals. That's it. No more gossiping, no more extra talks. So yeah, obviously we are friendly amongst each other, but yeah, I don't think, like, in a very professional way, like, too much friendship is necessary or too much enmity is necessary. We are all working here for a cause, and I think that's the most important thing. So that's how I try to manage 80 people, or I we have managed more than 100 people altogether.
It's not a small thing or a joke that 80 people, 100 people, more than 100 people are working in an organization, and in this time period, honestly, it's just a something I can't comprehend enough. Okay, interesting question. Um, how do you manage yourself after managing all of this?
Like, manage my time, because there are a lot
Time,
of things I'm
health,
managing right now.
brain, your 16 cats, your daily life in general.
uh, yeah, it's as this one also I have already said, like, the hectic schedule goes on and on. Like, yesterday we were actually planning for the trial run, and I was actually very anxious, planning everything out, like how will I have to manage everything and stuff. So I went back to sleep at around 1:30 a.m., and then At 3 a.m. I got a call, and actually not a call. People, there were three people who came outside my house and started screaming my name. And then I still ignored, like maybe I don't know. I knew that it was something related to an animal, but at that hour I knew my mother will not let me go out at least at 3 a.m. just because some stranger is calling me out. So I tried to ignore, but sadly they jumped into the wall and they rang the bell. So my mother woke up, so I had to go and then see that, there was some local people who said like their dog was very in a very serious condition, and if I had some medicine for allergy for their dog. So I checked, but sadly I didn't have. I had one, but it was past the expiry date, so I couldn't actually help, which was, that also gave me an anxiety attack, like how can I help, how can I help, whether like they went back. Still I came back, I went to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. Then again, like I hardly could sleep for 1 or 2 hours. Then at 5 a.m. I had to wake up. Then, like I said, I have six paralyzed cats. I have to groom them, clean them at least twice a day, medicate them at least twice a day. So before I go out in the morning, I had to do everything. Then by 6 a.m. I have to leave. I had to leave my house. By 7 a.m. I had to start the marathon. I had to walk the whole way of the marathon from the starting point to the ending point. Then had the discussion with the team, like what are we going to do and stuff like that. I came back, had to do the house chores because in my family is just me and my mom. uh, I have lost my older sibling and my father, so it's just me and my mom. And my mom is also not like not in a very healthy condition, so I prefer to do all the household chores myself, because I'm still not a student basically, but self-employed, half self-employed, half a student. And actually thinking of getting into the teaching job very soon. I don't know when I'll be getting the job, so till then, as I said, like I cannot obviously fill my pockets by treating animals, but I have to do this because this is what feeds my soul. So I had to do that. Then I could just have my lunch and maybe take an hour rest, and then again get up and again clean my cats, change the diapers and everything. I had to leave house by 5 p.m. I, uh, I had a tuition. I completed the tuition. It was also very far off from my place. I came back at night. Then I had a chat with you, like how this whole session will go and everything. I prepared the post for Fox's social media. Okay, so after the marathon, we actually rescued two kittens who were abandoned. One of them were paralyzed, and one is fine still now. So getting back from the marathon, I had to do all the treatment and stuff. So yeah, after that, I just had dinner, and then we started the conversation. So this was my today's plan. Like today also, like before starting this session, I was like saying my friend, ki, I'm actually so tired. I am so sleepy. I don't know how I'll speak. Maybe I'll just blabber too much. But then he said, like, you can postpone it. You can say that you're tired. But I said, like, when I really don't know. Tomorrow also I'll be tired. I'll be tired day after tomorrow also. When will I be able to give time? So let's do it today only. It's fine. I'll be able to talk.
That means a lot. I'm hearing the schedule of your like out of such a
Yeah.
hectic schedule you are coming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all. That sums it up. And probably a last question for you: what services or what does Furrfolks do? What services are provided by Furrfolks?
Okay, so as I said, like we started with the spot treatment, and we strongly believe in this whole idea of spot treatment because, as I said, like mostly I have seen that most animals, like if you're aware of it, like whenever there is, for example, even if a particular person in a locality is conscious about the health of the animal, mostly what they do is they'll call the shelter and they'll ask them to please come and pick this dog up, because it's actually not a sign of like they are conscious or they are actually feeling very sorry for the dog. It's just that they don't want that mess over in their locality. So I believe that, and I, since we are just just going into that sector of shelterization, so I know that the accommodation facility of a shelter is not infinite. So stop sending animals to the shelter, and it's very important that for the minimal injuries or the things that we can treat on spot, get them treated on spot, because that's the best thing that you can do, and sterilize them. So like I said, like we have this concept of starting the spot treatment, like how today's world, how Swiggy Zomato is basically working. In the future, we actually think of doing something like that. We'll have employees who will do the spot treatment and go to
Shit.
places and getting calls like this. So this is a thought over this whole spot treatment thing. Like, even if we get a shelter, we'll be doing this. And obviously, we have, as I said, like, we have done a lot of vaccinations, like free vaccinations. We also do sponsored vaccination drives right now. We do paid vaccinations at like for the pets. And there is a huge part which deals with rescue, fostering, and adoption. Rescue, fostering, treatment, and adoption. So that's how I ended up with 6 paralyzed cats, because mostly people refuse to adopt them. uh, but nowadays, at least I can assure this, like, if we rescue a fully normal healthy kitten, then we can get them adopted easily. So that is the confidence that we have. And for that, we whenever we get such calls, we try to attend them if we have the accommodation facility available. uh, like, not most of our members, I'll say, very few of our members actually can foster, because most of them are like, abba nahi manenge. So that is the whole scene. And uh, they refuse to foster our rescues. And very few of us जिनके अब्बा actually मान गए थे. So we end up with a lot of rescues. So that's how most of, like, many of us who are actually fostering, they have a lot of cats and dogs at their places. So yeah, this is the main part. And we also do sterilizations, vaccinations. Also, we have a very interesting project going on. Like, we have already initiated it. It's called Stray Ed. We are trying to educate school children about like
Wow.
stray animals, because I think it's very important that most of the school children, they are actually how their parents, out of their protective nature, obviously they teach them that, like, don't go near that stray, or
Uh-huh.
it will bite them, or it's nasty, you'll get germs on your face, on your hands and stuff like that. So
I've
it's
heard
very
this really
important.
bad notion. Sorry for the interruption. I've heard this really bad
Yeah.
notion that sadak ka kutta. And what is sadak ka kutta?
Hmm.
मैं कहा तुम सड़क का
So
कुत्ता.
that's a huge sector. That's a completely different sector of adopting. Most people are not up to adopting indies. Still, I'll say, like, it's far better condition in Kolkata, and people are getting more compassionate in adopting indies. Still, like, a majority of the section, like, still the percentage ratio will be approximately 80% to 20%. 80% of people, they'll go for like breed dogs. Even if it's rescued, abandoned, you'll get, like, if I post a particular picture of a breed dog, I'll get at least 10 comments stating, like, I need the dog, or I want to adopt. But if I post the picture of an indie puppy, I'll hardly get 1 to 2 comments, like, very rarely. So this is the condition, the whole condition of the, so Strayed actually educates the children of how to, what's the myth against, what's the myth that they are actually taught about the stray dogs, the community animals, and how they actually need to face them and coexist together. So they were very, I would just like to share a very like special situation like we faced last time. It was during the COVID situation only. We had our first straight session, and children joined in. There were many children, basically. I don't exactly remember. Mostly 100 to 150 children joined in our online conversation. And after we presented the whole concept of strayed, And after that, there were children who said, auntie, when I go back home, there is a dog. Whenever there is a leftover tiffin, I feed my tiffin to that dog. And even when I do not have the tiffin, the dog will come near me and it will wag its tail. So these are very minimal and special things that actually children need to learn and children need to face and encounter. So, and obviously their parents won't let them encounter these situations until and unless they themselves do it. So I guess it's very important that it's inculcated in education system, that how important it is to have empathy for the creatures, because it's almost like getting negligible.
Wow. Oh, great. It's kind of an interesting point you just stated. Really, really thoughtful, really, yeah. I think that will kind of sum up the entire stuff we did. Disturbed her a lot, sorry for that. So basically, for the audience I'm seeing, I'll list down, there's a, for the people who are watching from Kolkata, if they're planning to travel to Kolkata on 15th of August, they have a event called Furr-a-thon. All the details, everything, the registration link and all of that stuff, I'll put down on the description. Please do check them out. Please go ahead and follow them on social media. And please, there's a saying I say, please don't get tired of your social media addiction, and instead give them a follow, which will just, improve your Facebook news feed with good pictures of cute puppies and kittens, and not your favorite politicians sometimes. And so, yeah, that will bring this to a halt. And thank, I would, I don't know how to thank. I would like really thank to you for, from the bottom of my heart, for coming to this and sharing your thoughts. And also, I wanted to ask, where will I get that T-shirt?
This t-shirt you can order from us from only. Like you can just share your details and we'll get that ready.
Done. Again, nothing to more to say. Keep building, keep doing the great work you just doing. Like, we can't comprehend what people do. When people do stuff like this, it just fills my heart. Thank you so much for joining in the midnight, for getting disturbed.
Thank
And
you.
yes, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Take care. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. No, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.